This morning throughout Central Illinois.
We've been asking you for your love stories to share on our newscast, and Central Illinois, you have certainly not disappointed. Let's take a look at the first one. Joe and Andrian Long, who have been together for 17 years. They met up on Match.com and were both mesmerized from day one. They video chatted for several months and finally met in person and knew they were going to marry each other.
Next up, we have Donald and Patsy Farden, who have been together for 72 years. Married for 68. Donald was on his way to pick up his blind date in East Peoria, but he ended up at the wrong house. It was actually her best friend's. Of course, he felt a little embarrassed, but this seems to have all worked out. He finally got to her house and took her on her date. They've been inseparable ever since.
Glad it worked out. And then we have Jeff and Chris Braun, who have been together for 43 years. And according to the Brauns, some friends set them up. Chris and her friend would ride a horse named Whiskey by Jeff's house, and he finally mustered up the courage to go outside and say hello. They were in 5th and 6th grade at the time. The rest of their school years, they dated on and off.
Finally, this morning, we have Donna and John Henderson of Pekin. They've been together for 46 years. They met at a beauty salon where his mom worked. John's mom ended up introducing the two, and it was love at first sight.
Tonight, we are sharing the love all across Central Illinois.
More love to share. Now, we've been asking you to submit your love stories so we could share them right here on TV. First, we have Jalith and Scott McIntosh of Washington. They met at work, and their first date went so well that they went out every night after that.
By the third date, she told her best friend she was going to marry him, and to remember she said that so she could tell him about it when it happened.
After 3 weeks, Scott had her pick out a ring, but they didn't tell anyone. She was born in England and loved medieval things, so 3 years later, he had his proposal incorporated into the show at Medieval Times Dinner Tournament in Schaumburg.
At a designated point, he excused himself to the restroom, but then actually dressed up as the winning knight. She was then brought before the king and the queen, given a banner, a bouquet of flowers, and he switched it up with the champion, proposing in front of 3,000 people.
Oh my goodness, a lot of photos there as well.
And they got some calligraphy, Lord and Lady, and they've been together for 29 years. Congratulations to them. We also have Suzanne and Rocky Diedrich. They met at a junior college dance in Canton. Suzanne says she was standing outside with friends waiting to get into the gym for the dance, and this guy walked up to her and leaned in to whisper something to her.
Yeah, instead of whispering, he belched into her ear. What a gross guy, she thought, and walked away. So later that night, she saw him at a frat party, and she thought he was actually kind of cute. She may have been influenced by the bottle of Boone's Farm wine she had consumed. A week later, he invited her to his apartment to watch Jeopardy.
And they started dating. Within a year, they were married, and that was 50 years ago. And they still watch Jeopardy all the time. Sharing the love across all of Central Illinois.
Yes, all February long, we asked you to submit your love stories so we could share them. And tonight, we have Heather and Tog Taggart of Washington. They met at high school, Heather says. They're high school sweethearts. They started dating in February of 1988. She was 14. Her husband was 15. They couldn't even drive, Tyler.
I could just barely drive in 88. So they had other friends take them places, and their first date was a pizza place. They've been together ever since, though. Now they live in Washington and are celebrating 35 years of bliss.
All right, and to submit your...
Tonight we are sharing the love across Central Illinois. We've asked you to submit your love stories so we can share them. First, we have Emily Kenny and Shaylee Kellerstrass of Farmington. They met on a dating app. Emily was at Western Illinois University in her final year of school. Shay and Emily matched on Bumble and talked all night. Emily thought they hit it off. Well, then Shaylee ghosted Emily for about a week before popping back up in her messages. Well, the rest is history. The first time they met in person, though, they hung out at a lake until about 3 a.m., and then Shaylee asked Emily to be her girlfriend. They've now been together for 4 years. And last, we have KK and Manisha McGee of Peoria. They met at HGS, a call center near the shops at Grand Prairie. KK on the left says Manisha was assigned as a trainer, and they first bonded when Manisha fell asleep, but somehow still answered a question as if she'd been awake. They went on to date and have been joined at the hip ever since, traveling and joking around, two of their biggest loves. Neither can stay mad at the other because one is always doing something to make the other laugh. They've now been together for 6 years.
We are sharing the love across Central Illinois.
We've asked you to submit your love stories all month long. And this morning, we have Sally and Randall connect. They met at the Washington High School cafeteria, and their relationship started out a little sour before turning sweet. Sally says she hated him as he would close the freezer door and hold it shut when she went to get ice cream items to serve.
Oh, no. And then Randall, well, Randall just thought it was funny when she came out of the freezer unit and had frost in her hair, but the cold shoulder did not turn into cold hearts. After Sally didn't see him for several years, her brother and sister-in-law got them back together for a picnic. They started dating, and now they've been married for 42 years.
And tonight we're sharing the love across Central Illinois as we've been doing this month.
Yes, we've asked you to submit your love stories so we could share them right here on 25 News.
First we have Mary Beth and Ryan Kelly of Toulon. They knew each other from neighboring rival high schools. Mary Beth says he was 16, she was 15. He dated a friend of a friend, but she had a major crush and had her friend tell him. So when he did ask her out, she was afraid to go alone, so she brought the friend with her. In spite of that, he asked her out again. That was 1982, and they've been together ever since.
Love that. Last, we have Patrick and Rita Lovell of Minooka. They were brought together as a blind date set up by a friend. Rita was 18 and he was 21. They met at a house party and started dating almost immediately. They were both ready to get on their own. They got married 4 months later. They didn't find out until the reception that they had chosen his grandparents' 44th wedding anniversary as their wedding day. With their 40th anniversary approaching this April, they've seen incredible times and hardships, trials, illnesses, and they say God's grace and his gifts of their 2 sons. Excellent daughters-in-laws, family, and careers. They say they are blessed to be best friends. He says it's his wife and soulmate, and they can't wait to enjoy retirement together. That's beautiful.
Absolutely. To submit your love story, love to see the sun, and tonight we are sharing the love all across Central Illinois.
We asked you to submit your love stories so that we could share them on air.
And tonight we have Patty and Skip Catron of Hayworth.
Aww.
They've been together almost since birth.
Yeah, Patty says they were in the same grade in Hayworth. They graduated in 1965, and the same on-call doctor delivered them 2 months apart. They started dating during their senior year. They worked side by side at their own business for 20 years. They tell us they have 2 beautiful daughters and 5 grandchildren, and they've been married for 55 years.
Absolutely worked there.
Tonight, we are sharing the love across Central Illinois.
Yeah, we asked you to submit your love stories so that we could share them all throughout the month of February.
Tonight, we have Michael Gossage and Amanda Jones of Pekin. They met at Center Street Tap Bar. Michael sent Amanda a friend request on Facebook 10 years ago, and she accepted it. They went to the bar.
He sang to her, told her, and said, "You are going to be my wife." Until this day, they're together. She is his everything. He says, Amanda, that he loves you with all of his heart. And he's 6 years clean from alcohol, and he has a son. Look at them improving their lives together. Absolutely incredible. And to submit your own love story, go to 25newsnow.com, click on the Features tab, and through your stories, we're sharing the love this February on air and online.